I had so much fun making my unusual wreath, and I'm actually starting with a 12-inch basket that someone had thrown away. Using some white spray paint, I covered the front and the back. I'm using a handful of raffia as the base for my wreath. I gathered it in the middle and I used a little piece of raffia to tie off the center, and then using my hot glue gun, I secured it into place. I'm using the Dolalr Tree fall leaves throughout my project, and I'm also using one of their pretty velvet teal pumpkins. I'm attaching 2 leaves to the top of the pumpkin, and I'm hot gluing each under the stem. I have 3 wire corkscrew accents, and I'm hot gluing those on top of the leaves. When I was done, I then hot glued the pumpkin into the center of the basket. I'm pretty much using everything that I already had on hand to make this wreath. I found some of these little vegetables and fruits in my stash, so I'm going to use them to accent the pumpkin. I placed each of them in the basket and then I hot glued them into place. I'm making my wreath as part of the Unusual Fall Wreath Challenge hosted by Kiki from Kiki DIYs. She is super creative and she is the absolute sweetest. I'm going to link her channel below along with the playlist for this challenge. I had this pumpkin and berry pick, so I'm going to add that as a slight cascade in the front. With all my fruits and vegetables attached, I'm now going to add my flowers. My bow is black and white, so I'm going to incorporate these black twigs into my wreath. I don't have an exact plan in mind, but I thought I would start with the red flowers as my base. I have a huge tote of flowers, and I don't know how I got so lucky, but I found one stem that matched the pumpkin exactly. I got busy and I cut all the flowers from the main stem. The second layer of flowers that I'm adding are the orange eucalyptus. Once those were all in place, I then added the smaller yellow flowers. This was such a fun challenge and it definitely got me out of my comfort zone. I was so thankful to find these 3 teal flowers, so I'm adding them now, and that will help incorporate the pumpkin into the wreath. With my flowers all added, I'm now going to make a bow, and I'm using a 7/8 inch black and white ribbon. I don't own a bow maker, so I'm going to go old school on this one. I make 2 loops and basically decide how big I want my bow to be. Now that I have my loops, I make sure that I pinch them tightly between my fingers. Then I make a matching loop, I twist the ribbon and then pinch it between my fingers. Then all I do is continue to make a loop, twist the ribbon, and then catch it between my fingers, making sure that I pinch it very tightly as I move along. I never have a set amount of loops that I put in each ribbon. I just kind of judge it as I go along. I've made these same type of bows in some of my other videos, and I'll make sure that they're linked above in case you'd like to check them out. Once my loops are complete, I continue pinching the ribbon together very tightly. Then I take a piece of floral wire and I bend it over the center of the loops. After that, all I do is twist it very, very tightly, and this will hold your bow together. I give it a little fluff and then I cut the tails. With my bow complete, I'm now attaching it to my wreath by using some hot glue. I'm now adding in the black twigs that I cut earlier. By adding these in, for me, it now incorporates the black from the bow into the wreath. I'm using the Dolalr Tree fall leaves to fill the voids in between the fruits and the vegetables. I also added a few leaf accents in between the flowers. I found this little scarecrow and he happened to be all the right colors. I thought he would be a super cute accent, so I'm adding him into the wreath. I'm adding some color to the berries and I'm using Anita's Ocean Blue acrylic paint. Once again, I am so lucky I had this paint in my stash and it matches the teal pumpkin perfectly. To finish off the wreath, I'm pulling out as much of the raffia as I can behind the vegetables, the pumpkin, and the fruit. In the areas where there weren't any raffia, I just added some extra in and secured it in place with my glue gun. I bet you're thinking, Laurie, this is one crazy mess, but all I need to do is use my scissors and trim it up. I added a piece of floral wire to the back as a hanger. I wrapped some white floral tape around the wire to give it a finished appearance. I had so much fun making this unusual fall wreath. Definitely different colors than I normally would use, but I absolutely love the way it came out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had fun, and if you haven't yet subscribed and you think you'd like to come back and hang out with me again, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below. I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.